Good day, traders. Mindset Reset. It's Monday, opening range day of the new week. Recovering from a devastating loss to the Detroit Lions, losing to San Francisco 49ers. What a game. What a game. Is what it is. So today we're talking about Monday mindset. And the Monday mindset for me is, I talked about in the past, I would, get into the market on a Monday and get into a poor quality trade. Instead of taking a trade setup, I'd get into a poor quality trade. This is years ago. And, before you know it, you're trying to dig yourself out of a hole on a Monday or from a Monday. And you're already starting the week off in recovery mode, or your mindset is in recovery mode before the New York session even begins. So on a Monday, my approach is always the same. One of the questions I got on the weekend was, do you only trade Wednesdays and Fridays? And of course, Free Cash Wednesday, Free Cash Friday is about the larger parabolic opportunity that can build over day one, day two, day three. We have the same opportunities on every single day because there are 3-day setups and we have 3-session setups. And 3-session setups can be very powerful even on a day one if they involve other time frame traders. So I had a lot of great questions that I'll address in today's video. We're going to continue that discussion about other time frame traders. And I'm always looking for that opportunity on a range expansion. So sometimes there are opportunities for that parabolic move that is still creating a range expansion. But on a Monday, my approach is to lock in the money, get off the screen. So if you're sitting around longer on a Monday, oftentimes, as we talked about in the last video, how the auction process starts the week off from the previous week's closing price. We saw some gaps today on different instruments. But on Monday, they're just starting to expand the range. They're just starting to expand the range. So there's a few people that got caught trying to counter trend a move on the outside of the range. And so as I've talked about, counter trending a day one runner. So a market that is in breakout, but there's no evidence of other time frame traders having come in on the other side of that range yet. And so this is where a day one, day two, day three parabolic opportunity comes in, because we establish boundaries for the high and the low of the week. And that gives us a larger box. So my mindset is always this: I want to be participating in an opportunity where the market is going to move fast and strong in one direction, from either the high to the low or the low to the high. And if I'm inside, I need to be in a parabolic coil. So gold gave 2 opportunities today. And we'll go through that chart today specifically, because I'm going to talk about gold, because we had other time frame traders already in the market. So if I'm going to get into a trade, I want to know that there's going to be some oomph behind that. Other time frame traders driving that move. But once it goes outside, now we are again in an area where the market is out of balance. And when it's out of balance, it has the potential for a large opportunity, especially when it's at the open of a market session. So I'm looking for the best setups. And a couple other traders have sent me charts and asked me questions about charts in where they got into the market. And my response is, what setups are you trading? Because the setups ultimately are pump and dump, dump and pump, but also they're high and lows of boxes. So if you're chasing the Fugazi and you don't have a box, that's where you can get caught on the wrong side of a market, or in a market that's still expanding the range. And that's where you can get chopped up, or you're just in the middle of a box in between an existing high and low. We'll look at some examples of that today, where traders were trying to trade inside of a couple of instruments, and I'll establish the boundaries, because Asia puts in the opening range. London may stay inside of that range or expand the range, increasing the high or the low of the day. And then we have other time frame trader areas between yesterday's high and yesterday's low of the day. So this is what will allow you to step back and have peace of mind and not feel like you're chasing something, or you need to guess or figure out all these little zigzags and pushes and everything else, when in reality, there's a box. That's it. And if there's not a box for asymmetrical risk reward, then I don't have an ideal best trade candidate setup. So again, removing the garbage and the guesswork and just keeping it simple. Every single day, the setups will be the same when they come together for an opportunity. And that box is going to be a pump and dump or a dump and pump type of opportunity. So we'll go through this in a technical video. Managing your downside, managing your emotions, avoiding impulsive, irrational behavior all comes back to being able to identify setups that you understand completely, because that's where you're not trying to read a market every day and read movement and price action. A well-defined geometrical box. Then we have our trade setup thesis. So one other question in closing was, what if you have a thesis that it's a buy setup and the market ends up turning into a short setup, or a sell? It's a buy and then it turns into a sell. So coming back to, what type of setup do I have, and what is it? A box? Because ultimately, if I'm at the bottom of a box in a larger dump and pump template in the timing window heading into the New York Open, or in that first hour, or that first hour, if there's no major red news, today's a great example of that. No major red news, gold's pumping back to the high first hour. Why is it moving so far all over the place when we've had no major fundamental information to impact that instrument? That's what I mean by Fugazi. They've moved the market, they've triggered other time frames into the market, and we have a very well-defined geometrical box and well-engineered chart for trading a best trade candidate template for free cash, easy free cash on Free Cash Monday. There's no stress, there's no guessing. Pay attention to the time. When did that trade start? Second hour, 1 hour to the high. Consolidation for 15 minutes. The second hour begins and the collapse. New York opens midway down, breaks through that level 3 area, back inside, takes out the low of the US window and continues to collapse back down through the low of the day. Print that chart off. It's also a day 3 from Thursday's low of the week. Friday made higher highs. Monday made higher highs in London for the dump and pump blow off. Asia, London, New York, 3 levels to the high. And then the dump. That's a well-engineered chart. There's no guessing. But we will look at some other charts today that required guesswork, and which is why, to me, they just have a big red X through them. It's like, not interested. That's not a best trade candidate. That's me trying to figure out where to sell and buy. And that's where people will get chewed up in a narrow range instrument based on what they're thinking comes from reading price action. And often that's what will get us chasing a move that doesn't have room for taking profits or anything else. It just jams you in and then reverses. You're caught. That's not something that you ever want to be caught into. So again, it's about removing the garbage. Discipline. The discipline's easy because you know what your setups are. The confidence because you know how the trade should behave once you're in it. There should be zero heat, zero stress. And a winning mindset comes from locking in the profits, walking away, coming back tomorrow and looking for the same type of well-engineered chart opportunities and hitting them again. Keeping it simple, waiting for the market to set up, waiting for it to expand the range, or participating in a coil for a range expansion if the market offers us that from where a level, closing price, high of day, low of day. And just keep peeling things back so that you're not engaging in impulsive behavior. Those are the things that will bulletproof you for success over the long term. So congratulations to the traders who hit those trades. There was great opportunities in London as well. We'll look at some examples of that. And Asia, Euro-Oz gave a great Asia session opportunity. Japanese yen in the US window, great trade. Canadian dollar, smaller range, but a well-engineered chart. Trading breakout traders from Friday still in the market, a dump and pump template. We'll look at that as well. Keep it simple, traders. It's going to be a big week. We have the Fed on Wednesday, double release statement, so that'll be a big day. And then Friday, of course, non-farm payrolls. Keep it simple. Focus on the best trade candidates. Let the market set up. Discipline. Manage your trade. Lock in the profits and walk away. Have a great day, and may the markets go with you.